Here with head football coach Paul Winters after a tough near upset at number 2 Ferris State, 38-28. Final thoughts from that game.
Very frustrating. There were opportunities that we had from an offensive standpoint. We made a lot of big plays, and then we didn't make the easy plays that we're probably 90% on throughout the year. So, we've got to get that stuff corrected. Defensively, I thought we had some missed tackles and some misfits that hurt us. But there were some things outside of our control that really hurt us more than anything. So we just, we'll regroup and be ready to play this week.
So 55 points on homecoming against Northwood. The 28 points was the second most that Ferris State has allowed, so that's an impressive number. Has this offense kind of turned a corner as it kind of got some confidence rolling now?
I think we do have confidence, and I think it starts with our quarterback. He's feeling better and making better plays. But it's like I said, those plays where we're probably 90%, we were 0% in the last game. So we got to get that better, and then continue to make those big plays that we made against Ferris.
You mentioned the sophomore quarterback, Jake Amrine, finished with a career-high 262 passing yards. Where is he in his development, not just this year, but as you look kind of it as a 4 or 5 year process?
It's funny. You watch from game one. I think his first game he played in was last year against Ferris.
Right.
And he was nowhere near ready to play. And you look at a year later, he was out there and pretty much in control, but still looking young at times. So I think he's probably right where he should be.
Yeah.
We would obviously like him to be further along, and I think as an offense, it's everybody's duty to help him get further along, and as he improves, we improve.
Staying on the offensive side of the ball, despite being the number one target, defenses know where he is at all times. Darius Roberson continues to make plays. Where does he rank in terms of playmakers in your time at Wayne State? Because he's got to be towards the top now.
Yeah, you know what? Every team has that guy, and he's been that guy for a couple of years. I think you look at the most recent Jamel Hicks. He's right there with Jamel, and doing great things for us. I'm not going to put him in Troy Burrell status quite yet.
He's got some time. Yeah.
But Troy Burrell, his resume is obviously pretty exciting.
The defense, maybe 2, 3, a handful of stops away from perhaps beating the number 2 team in the country at their place. Coaches always talk about no moral victories, but that's got to be an encouraging sign for the defense and just the team in general.
Yeah, I thought the defense stepped up pretty good. You give up 38 points and you say, well, you didn't play great defense. And I think, again, there were things that went into it that probably were out of our defense's control. And even the last touchdown at the end of the half, from an offensive standpoint, if we just complete a bubble, the defense isn't on the field. So, it's never just one group. It's always the entire team that puts it together. So if the offense plays a little bit better, critical situations, defense gives up less points.
Senior Day coming up this weekend. This group of 15 seniors has been through some ups and downs, but they've always competed. Talk about this group and what Senior Day means to a graduating football player.
Well, it's a great group. You look at Preston, Anthony Pittman, those guys. They've all been just dedicated to their craft. They've been dedicated to Wayne State football. Very proud of all of them. They're all going to graduate. They're all going to be leaders in the community, and many of them actually have graduated. I think 7 of them already have graduated. But
one of the higher numbers in the country. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's a great group, and ultimately we didn't get the results on the field this year that group deserved. But their legacy is going to be what next year's team goes out and does.
impressions from some of the film that you've seen from Northern Michigan so far this year. Obviously, have one of the better runners in the league and in the country. What have you seen from them, and a few keys to victory?
Well, I think they've got good skilled kids all over the place. Kick returner is really good. He's the backup to the running back, who's really good. Their receivers have always been some of the best. I think you look at their interior offensive and defensive lines, they're physical. They know how to knock people off the ball, and it's always going to be a challenge playing them.
That city is Detroit.